Hello, and welcome to this episode of a Me Play with me, Rjackiley. And today, I'm going to be playing a game that I love called RWBY Grimm Eclipse. Now, this game is based on a popular anime called RWBY, or RWBY, as it's spelt kind of strangely, as you can see from the title of this game. Now, it is in early access. It's developed by a company called Rooster Teeth, which is probably my favorite company in the fucking world. They're amazing. But yeah, so this game's in early access, so there's still a lot to come. But so there won't be this won't be 100% done. There'll be some there might be some glitches or something. I haven't encountered many when I started playing this game, but you notice the menus don't look the best. That's because of that. Yeah, you can see down the bottom right there it's 0.60.04R. So that's like the version of it. So yeah, this game's in early access, but it's still a lot of fun. And it's a sort of third-person, running around, hack and slash, jumping, punching, explosions kind of game. And so what I'm going to be doing with this game is I'm going to be playing through the entire game in one pretty much playthrough and recording all of it. But then I'm going to split up the episodes into each level, because the levels go on for a while. There's like multiple sections in each level, so I think there's about 5 levels now, so it will take a while. So I'm gonna pretty much be splitting it up, so each episode of this will be a new level, and they'll appear over the next couple of weeks probably. So I'll have a bunch of stuff recorded, which will be awesome, so good. But yeah, so we're just gonna jump right into it now. So it's a multiplayer game, so I'm gonna just doing it with random people. Some of them might stay, some of them might not. Who knows? So yeah, as you can see, there's coming soon stuff, because this was the thing, and I can't play with friends because I have no friends. Yeah. But anyway, all right, we're just gonna get into a quick game. Actually, that might be bad, because we probably need to set it up to be a new game, because if we want to go from the start, which is so I'll probably have to, because it's in Emerald Forest Part 2, which is the first level, but it's the second part of the Emerald Forest, so I don't want to. So I want to start at the beginning. No. Oh god, I have to pick a character, and then. No. Exit. Yep, sorry, Joanne. Yeah, we have to exit back and start a new game, because of the fact that it's just, that we want to start from the very beginning, because, there might be people who haven't seen this. So yeah, we're going to campaign, new game. Here we go, connecting. Select character. Oh yeah, let's select character. It could be Ruby, Weiss, Blake, or Yang. Now, if you don't know these characters, Ruby is basically based on Red Riding Hood, and she has a scythe that is also a sniper rifle. Weiss is based on Snow White, I believe, and she is a rapier that can do different elemental attacks. Blake is based on Belle from what is it? Not Sleeping Beauty. From Beauty and the Beast, and she has a small pistol that turns into a sword and can also be thrown around on a little whip. So she can literally pistol whip people, which is awesome. Then we got Yang, who has these gauntlets that just shoot shotgun blasts, and she can do a lot of explosions. But right now, I think I'm feeling we should play as Blake. Let's do that. Now, can I set these to open or anything? I think it should just, yeah, I think it should just. People will join over the time, and it'll scale depending on how many people we've got in here. So, yeah, I'll just start the game from now, and hopefully more people will join. So, yeah, so this game looks real pretty. I really like this game. So you can jump around, use a bunch of attacks, and do a bunch of just really cool stuff. So like I was saying earlier, it's based on an anime, and this anime is called RWBY, or RWBY, because some people just don't like to pronounce it as RWBY because of the fact that it's not when you say it the way it's spelled, it doesn't say RWBY, but that's the name of it. And anyone who says it's not an anime, it is an anime. It absolutely is. Oh, and look, we got someone else to join us. So yeah, so these are the enemies that I'm fighting. They're called the Creatures of Grimm, and they're basically these creatures that have no soul, and they've been around since the beginning of time in this world, and they're just big dicks to everyone. Alright, so there's also, artifacts you can find. Okay, I have to remember all the controls. Okay, so I can, there we go. You can artifacts you can find, so you can do all this, so you can level up and stuff. There we go. Okay, cool. I will do that. Now we got some more people joining us, which is awesome. And yeah, you go. You see it's adjusting the difficulty, because, someone disconnected. They left us, but we have a Weiss with us. Just like, hello. Alright, we're going to keep going here. Actually, I leveled up so we can actually upgrade some of our things. So, now we can't do all of the things that we want to do. We won't be able to upgrade everything. Just saying random shit. Horizontal beam, blah, blah, blah. Survivor. Survive more damage after your aura is depleted. Let's upgrade. No, I can't upgrade that. Let's upgrade Improved Shadow Strike. Blake creates up to 5 clones of herself to strike the enemy. Sure, let's do that. I don't know what that ability is, but hey, we'll figure it out. I'll probably have to look at the controls in a little bit, because, yeah, haven't played this in a little bit, and I forget the controls, because it's just bizarre. And I think last time I played it on PC, and this time I'm using a controller, because of the fact that, well, just my mouse is kind of weird. It's just annoying, you know, the way it works. It's just, like, disconnecting and shit. It's being annoying. So you saw there, there was a little thing that popped up above that guy's head, and it said B, which is, of course, I'm playing on a controller. I'm playing on an Xbox controller, so that's what the B pops up. It's basically saying press the B button, because you can do counterattack. So I'm going to see if I can wait for one of them to trigger an attack. Nah, whatever. Alright, so yeah, basically there's a bunch of different stuff that was added to the game recently, and that's sort of why I decided to play it now. They basically added these team attack things, so if one player damages an enemy enough, then another player can come in and basically press just one button and do like just an interesting animation that's like, it's just cool. Alright, so we're gonna attack here. There we go. Alright, so it sort of lagged, but I did a counter attack just then. And I'll see if I can get a better view on it. In a sec here. When another one pops up. Whoa! Alright.
Is that it?
Yes, that is it, Weiss. We killed a bunch of dudes, alright? Calm down. Alright. Alright, there's some boxes up here, and you've got to kill the crates! They're boxes of crates, who knows? No one knows, because it's insane.
Keep an eye out for artifacts.
Ooh, ancient kingdoms. Yeah, look at this. Look at an archway. Yeah, so that's them talking about the artifacts. You saw I found one earlier. Was the little Oh god. Oh god, the lag. No. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there's little artifacts you can find here. They're chess pieces. That's based on a thing that happened in the actual anime, where they had to find it's basically when they were first in the Emerald Forest, they had to so these are locations taken from the anime, and basically they had to find a temple, and in there were some artifacts, and they were a bunch of chess pieces, and so that's why they're chess pieces in here. And I'm gonna just go in and fight, because me looking around for artifacts is not entertaining very much. So these are the Beowulfs. These things are annoying, just because they do this massive slash. Oh, I don't know why that popped up there, but if you saw for a second, you saw it said RB on that Beowulf, and that was because it was allowing me to do a team attack at that point. I also want to check out what the Shadow Clone ability is, because I haven't played as Blake very much, so I want to see what that does. So next band of enemies, I'll what was that? I don't know what that was. I activated it. Yeah, I still don't know where it is. Okay, what's this? Okay, that's a counter. Right, okay. Ooh, that was cool. Okay, so those are heavy attacks. Alright, so if you hold down, your Y is basically a heavy attack, and if you hold it down, it will be even more heavy, which is awesome. Alright, there we go. And since I'm the host with the most, this is actually going a lot smoother than it normally would, which is awesome. I should learn to play like this more. And so this is, yeah. Oh, you know what? Since I'm playing this game, and there might be some people who don't know about this game, I'll explain to you a little bit about this. Ooh, hey, look, we got an upgrade. So we're gonna upgrade. This is just our blade beam, which I think is just our normal attack, like that. I think that's it. So, oh wait, it might be the heavy attack then. Yeah, I don't know. But I might as well go into the characters and explain a little bit about them, because they've got a bit of a backstory. So, and I might as well explain as well, because some people might not know. So, RWBY is based pretty much in a world where the first thing I should probably get into is about the Faunus. The Faunus are these. God damn it! That thing popping up at the bottom right shouldn't have done that. But anyway, pretty much this world where is the Faunus in this world are basically humans that have like animal qualities, sort of thing, and that sort of so they'll have. You can see this character here. She has that little bow on her head. That's because she's actually hiding her Faunus trait. So they'll have like animal features, And for her, she is a faunus. This character that I'm playing is now Blake, and she has cat ears, so she can. So they make a bunch of jokes about it in the game, but in the actual show, and it's pretty much for them. It's a way for them to deal with sort of racism and stuff. And pretty much what happened is the faunus are mistreated. Like that's what I was saying. Like they deal with racism in the show, and that's how they do it. And because the faunus were so mistreated. What happened was, because the faunus were mistreated, they set up an organization that was called the White Fang. And the White Fang originally was a very peaceful organization. It was just them trying to create peace between... Oh, that was cool. So that was the ultimate just there. But it was pretty much the faunus, this White Fang organization was trying to create peace between the faunus and the humans peacefully. They were trying to do it in a peaceful manner. But eventually, the guy who was originally leading it stepped down, and someone else took his mantle. And this character, I believe, is Adam, and he's a bit of a dick. He did not like the peaceful ways of dealing with humans. So they basically turned into a terrorist organization. That's what they are. And so Blake was originally a part of the White Fang when this old leader was still in charge. So she was part of it when it was peaceful. And then and then Adam became in power. But I think she sort of knew Adam before he became in power. And then she sort of saw him change and become this sort of evil dictator. And she was like, you know what, this is too much. So I'm gonna leave. She basically ran away from the White Fang, and then she joined the Academy of Beacon, which is where most of the show takes place. And it's where all these characters go to school, go to combat schools, pretty much. And that's why they've all got these badass weapons, because they pretty much built them, and now they're going to combat school to fight people. So that's sort of the basic... Oh, here we go. Team attack. Oh, look at that. That was like creating clones and attacking. So that's what the upgrade is for that. Is actually... That's the team attack upgrade. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so here we go. But yeah, so they're basically in this combat school. They've all got their different unique weapons, which is one of the things that most of the people love about the show, is the fact that they all have these amazing weapons that are just really, really cool. They were designed, most of the original ones were designed by this amazing person who, his name was Monty, and unfortunately he passed away, which was very saddening for everyone who was in the community and knew who he was. But he was an amazing person and a brilliant mind, and he created the show, but unfortunately he passed away. But the show is still going on, and it's awesome. It's so much fun. It's been getting a lot more intense recently. If you've been watching the show, you know what I'm talking about. Oh no, a huntress has fallen. But it's still really, really cool. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so. Yeah, basically, they're all at this combat school, and that's sort of where most of the stuff takes place. But I'll get into some of the other characters now. I know that took a while, but, you know, I gotta fill up time somehow. So right now, pretty much we're just fighting these Beowulfs in, just to make sure they don't, kill this control center thing, so we can, because they're like, oh no, they're attacking it, and we need this because it does stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I'll get into some of the other characters. This one here is named Weiss, and I sort of explained a little bit about her before, where I was like, oh, she's based on Snow White and stuff. And that was just sort of where they got the character basis, just sort of like where they got like their costume designs from and sort of stuff, just like a sort of inspiration for the characters. It's not like they are exactly these things, but they do have some traits and some storylines that do sort of mimic those kind of stories, those kind of fairy tales. And but Weiss is pretty much she's the heiress to a massive company called the Schnee Dust Company. Her name is Weiss Schnee, and so yeah, she's the heiress to this company, and so pretty much she's been given what she wants her entire life. So she's a bit of a snob, but she sort of breaks out of her shell a little bit during pretty much the first season is when she sort of breaks out of it. Like, she doesn't get team leader, and she's like, no, I want to be team leader, and so she's like, and then she kind of comes to accept that and stuff, and she's, so yeah, but they still sort of make fun of her a little bit, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, so she's basically this kind of snobby character, and she still is a little bit, but yeah, and she sort of, there's not really much backstory to her. I mean, she she sort of, oh, that's right, yeah, no, she was originally from another kingdom. This world, the world where this is based, this anime and this game, is called Remnant, and there are 4 kingdoms throughout the world, and pretty much she was originally from a different kingdom, like a different place on the planet, called Atlas, and then she moved to, God, I forget the name of this kingdom that they're in, but they're in, I think the town's called Vale, and the school's called Beacon, where they currently are. So she was from Atlas, and then she wanted to sort of escape her family, because she didn't, like, you know, believe in what they did and that sort of stuff, and, no, I don't know, she wanted to become a huntress, and so she sort of fled to this combat school, fled to Beacon to sort of get away from her family, and then, you know, just become a huntress. Oh no, someone's fallen. Where? I will revive you. No. Get her up. There we go. And so, yeah, now she's trained to become a huntress, and so the show sort of delves into that, about how she's sort of, just trying to, like, just trying to break free of that. And, oh, something I haven't mentioned is, and you'll probably be wondering why all this weird shit's happening, there's a thing in this world, called semblances, and basically most of the warriors have them, and pretty much it's where you, it's a special sort of ability that's unique to you. So, you've seen before how I was using sort of Blake, and I've been doing, her moves and stuff. You've seen the clones that have appeared randomly. Well, those clones, that's part of her semblance, is basically she can make clones, and, use them to sort of take a hit, or deal a couple of hits, or something like that. So that's her semblance, and Weiss has, these glyphs that are, like, they're sort of hereditary, like, everyone in her family sort of has it, and she can do some real interesting stuff with that, and, yeah, it's just sort of, really cool, all the stuff that she does, and there we go, gaining that artifact so we can, level up a little bit, and I'm gonna upgrade my abilities, but pretty much she has these, yeah, so it's like a special superpower for each person, but, yeah, so that's pretty much all that there is about Weiss. Wait, where's the revive one? Okay, team match, faster, there we go. Oh, wait, I still have more points, but... yeah, so she's sort of, that's, her semblance is these sort of glyphs that you can use. I don't think you see them much in the game, and you probably won't see them at all, because of the fact that, she's using, because of the fact that she's actually, like, we're not playing as that character. Oh yeah, so these are the new enemies, they basically spin, they charge, you just have to jump out of the way. Do a little dodge roll, like I'm doing now, flying through the air. Yeah! Like a cat lady! Because she is a cat lady. So yeah, these things are, they're probably the most annoying, because what's interesting about this game is just the fact that you've got these different, okay, that's what I was seeing what the range attack was, but, oh, that's what the upgrade is, for the range attack, okay, that's awesome, but anyway, point being, the different enemies in this game makes it really, really interesting, because for the first few levels, it's alright, like, because you don't have too much variation, it's just kind of like Beowulfs and that sort of stuff, but then you get enemies like this, that are really just annoying to deal with, so it makes it so you can't just, like, keep just tapping random buttons, you actually have to look for combos, like if you do two presses of the normal attack, and then a heavy attack, you do that, which is sort of, she dashes, which for Blake is, she dashes forward and then dashes back against the enemy, which is, it's just really helpful to do that sort of stuff. To have, you know, interesting attacks and the heavy attacks implemented, so it's like you can do combos and that sort of stuff. Like, you can't, there's not too many of that sort of stuff, but it's just, like I said, this game is in early access, so it's, so there's a lot of stuff they want to add, and they've been adding that sort of stuff, and it's just really cool. I also like the flips that she does. Somehow she does a backflip and moves forward. I don't know. It's a video game. But, yeah, so just the way that the enemies work, and the fact that there are, like, there aren't too many different enemies, but there are enough to keep you on your toes, like, during big battles, it's like, you can't just, like, with some of the big ones, like the alphas and the ursas, which are basically giant bears, you can't just sit there and attack them, because they will just wreck you shit, and they will just, like, smash a hole in the ground, and you will die. So you kind of need to use attacks as, like, back up, and then come at them with some heavy attacks, and then, like, dodge out of the way for their attacks to appear and that sort of stuff. So it's really fun the way the game works and plays, because it's just like, oh, I can do this. And I'm sure like this is a game you can get really good at, and just be like amazingly coordinated. It's kind of like the Batman Arkham Knight games. It's sort of like you can just get through the game just sort of doing your hack and slash stuff, especially due to the fact that there's multiple people here, so it's like you can actually just you can rely on them to do some of the more intricate stuff. But it's also like you can be a complete like badass in this game, and like building combos and all that, and countering all the other enemies' attacks and that sort of shit. It's just really fun the way that you can sort of play the game, because you can play it different ways, and it's just like, yeah, I just want to play fun, just bust through and do that sort of stuff. And that's pretty much what you'll see from me, because I'm also like commentating and talking and stuff, and so I don't want to like just be focused too much, because I actually because otherwise I won't end up talking. There was actually I'll tell you a funny story. I tried to record some gameplay of a game called it's like Path of the Necro Dancer, and what it is it's sort of like an RPG turn-based style sort of game, but you have to move at the same time that these beats play. So there's like songs going on in the background, and you have to move like when the beat hits. So it's kind of interesting to explain. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you saw it, you'd understand. If you've seen this game, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's really just it was really annoying, and it was really hard because I had to concentrate to like move at a certain point. And for literally like half of the recording, I'm just not saying anything. I'm like, yeah, I can't use this. Like I was just like, no, this game, I have to concentrate too much, and I just can't use it. So, yeah, so I did a whole recording. I was like, yep, no, can't be used. But hey, that's what you have to deal with. Oh my god, we're up on the ledge, being fucking ballerinas. But yeah, so it's just, so yeah, with this game, it's just sort of like, I'll be just sort of playing, just sort of the most basic way, just because of the fact that I just don't want to see too much. Yeah, I know you guys don't want to see too much, like, boring stuff. Oh god, okay, so yeah, there were a lot of them. You saw I did do a couple of counters there, and you saw there was probably like, you probably saw that there was a little icon above their head, and this icon basically allows, basically stuns that enemy. So it's really good if you're fighting, a smaller group of small enemies, because you can sort of build off that and just keep chaining around, which is kind of cheap, but hey, it's it's like, yeah, there's always going to be cheap ways to kill enemies. So yeah, you'll see here I can like stun him, and then stun him, and then stun him, and wait for this one to come up after I've attacked him, and then stun him, stun him, stun him. It's just kind of the way the AI works in this game, and it's bad, but like I said, early access, so hopefully they fix stuff like that. And yeah, but you know what? I was getting a little bit sidetracked because I was talking about the characters, and then I could have stopped that. So I'm gonna go back into the characters. Now you'll see there's another character running around with us who's in a red hood that I briefly mentioned. Sort of the oh, look at that! That was awesome. There we go. Look, and stunned him, and then so you can either like attack them or actually press the counter button to actually build up that. But yeah, so you'll see another character that's floating around with us, the red one. And that is, I mentioned her slightly before, her name is RWBY, and yes, that does get a little bit confusing about, because the show is called RWBY. The main character's name is RWBY, and she also leads a team called RWBY. And it's like, god damn it, it's pretty bizarre, and they do actually address it in the show at some point. She does, like, say to someone that, yeah, it is a bit, confusing sometimes. So it's kind of, it's just funny to see that. But yeah, so you can see her there. She's got her scythe that she's sort of wielding around, and oh, we actually have a full team of every character. So you can see here she's sort of got she's got a little hood and a cape. She's wearing a skirt, and she has a scythe that is also a sniper rifle. It is also a gun, and it's pretty powerful, and it's just really interesting because the idea pretty much came from, they've done like little behind the scenes stuff of people explaining where they got the ideas for this sort of stuff, and it was just sort of, that's what sort of started this entire show, is the idea of having a sniper rifle that was also like a scythe that was also a sniper rifle, and using the sniper rifle kickback to actually pull the scythe through an enemy and like chop them in half. And that was what birthed the show, basically. It was like, I want to build a show based on that idea, is the dream that someone had. And it's just, I'm saying someone because it'll make me cry if I talk about it too long. But pretty much, oh, here we go, clone attack, bam! And so yeah, basically, RWBY, her weapon is that scythe. It's called Crescent Rose, I believe. And she's younger than everyone, because this is like a combat school. It's kind of like, imagine it like high school. But she got moved ahead a couple of years because she basically impressed the headmaster, who was, you know, the headmaster of the school. And so he was like, you want to come to my school? And she was like, yes, absolutely. And so he led her into the school 2 years early. So she actually, you'll see the yellow one hanging about around here, just the yellow one. That's called Yang. Her name is Yang. And she's actually RWBY's sister, or sort of half-sister. But they're pretty much sisters. And so she's been sort of going to the school at the same time as her sister. So it's pretty much about, she's like the main protagonist, as you can probably tell, since the show is called RWBY. Oh no! I pressed the wrong button. I was like, I can either press B or left bumper. I'm gonna press X. So yeah, pretty much the show's based around her, and she's, I think she's 15 at this point. She might be 16, but she's a lot younger than any others, but she's still as badass of a fighter. And so she sort of goes through this journey of sort of trying to get people to accept her, like show that, hey, I can do this. And she's pretty much, her backstory is her mother died when she was very young.
Another battle won.
Hey, we won. Her mother died when she was very young, and she's very, very special. If you've seen Volume 3 and what happened, basically there's 3 seasons and they call them volumes. If you've seen the end of Season 3 of the show, you'll know exactly why. She's very, very special. And she's very powerful. Pretty much is the general gist of what they were getting at. But yeah, of course, because she's the main character of anime, she has to be fucking powerful. But yeah, so she's used this site. There's not really much to go into her. Oh, I'll go into her semblance, because I didn't sort of... but yeah, semblance is the superpower that basically all the characters have, and yeah, so the superpower she has is just speed. She's able to move like really, really fast. So she basically has super speed, which is actually like, it's pretty cool to look at. Oh, that was cool. You see that? I did like, okay, so I did 3 normal attacks and then a heavy, and I left a clone behind that exploded. No, that was just the 2. So yeah, basically what I'm doing here is I'm sort of pressing, I'm pressing to like 2 light attacks, and then I'll press a heavy attack, and that'll cause me to dash forward and then dash backwards. But if I press the light attack 3 times, and then the heavy attack, it actually leaves a clone behind that explodes. That's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, back on to RWBY, I mean, there's not really much I can go into her. It's just sort of, she's got that size, she built her own. Yeah, her story's pretty much about being like accepted by everyone, because she became team leader of their team, and there were a couple of people that weren't unhappy with that. Like Weiss, I mentioned before, I was saying like she didn't get what she wanted, and then because of that, she sort of went on a tantrum, and that's basically RWBY became this team leader. And she's very funny and just sort of innocent, and just she's probably my favorite character just because she's so funny, she's innocent, she's young. That's the whole point of her character, is that she's younger than everyone. Is like, she's 2 years younger than everyone, but it never hinders her. Like, she's still, but it builds on a character. It's just really funny, and it's just interesting. Now, but yeah, that's about it for RWBY's character, because there's not much. Like, we haven't gone too much into her backstory and all that sort of stuff. And she doesn't, I mean, she's younger, she doesn't really have too much about it. Like, Blake is probably one of the most interesting characters in terms of backstory. Like, the other ones are definitely more interesting. Oh, I got fucking double teamed. The other one is definitely not as interesting, because they just don't have that much backstory. And it's like Blaze. I tried to re-say what I said wrong, and I said it right. God damn it. Blaze. So, yeah, it's Blake or Weiss, is what I was trying to say. Sort of RWBY and Yang, which is the yellow one. Oh, is she gone? Where'd she go? I don't know. But, yeah, so it's sort of not as interesting, but it's kind of cool to hear about the character semblance and the weapon they have and that sort of stuff. But yeah, hopefully this Weiss doesn't die and let me down. I swear, if you... Oh, what? I'm alive! Yes! Yoink! Get up quick. There we go. See, I got that upgrade that was like, oh, get up quicker, and it wasn't paid off. Boom! That's a fucking powerful attack. But yes, there's not really much backstory to go into that, but it'll build more in the future about her forward story. I don't know, like, but yeah, so there's not really much to talk about with Ruby and Yang, apart from the fact that they're sisters and they're just, ooh, that looks so cool. Apart from the fact that they're sisters and they're just, I don't know, they're just fun characters.
Hold on just a little longer. We're almost finished.
Okay. Blake clones turns into earth, which creates an earthquake that smashes away enemies in a large radius around it. Okay, so we'll damage one enemy, and then also, ow. Okay. Whoa. Whoop, bang. Alright, so, yeah, like I was saying, there's not much backstory to go into those. But I'll explain, oh, the yellow one is here. Okay, so Yang is here. I'll explain to you a little bit about her, if you can sort of see her through this massive, just insane explosions. Pretty much what her, I guess the most prominent thing about her is her fighting style. She's very close up and in your face. Like the other one, like the other characters, they do have, like, they have a lot of ranged attacks and, like, special abilities that they use to keep their distance from characters, or keep their distance from enemies and stuff like that, but, and there are, like, characters like Ruby, they will, because she has a scythe, she does use that a lot, but she's not, like, ever, like, staying there for very long. Like, she'll punch you and she'll stab you a couple times, and then dodge away, just because she'll, like, decimate you within, like, 3 hits. But Yang is absolutely just a brawler. She just punches the shit out of me. Like, she's just gonna, like, destroy your face if you ever met her in a fist fight. Because she just punches the fuck out of people. Like, I explained her weapons a little bit a while ago. You can sort of see her on her wrists there. But she has these gauntlets that basically turn into shotguns. So it's like punching people times 1,000. It's pretty goddamn powerful, her punches. And she has a semblance that's where basically, I'm trying to think of like anything I can explain that might. If you've ever seen the movie The Iron Giant, she has a semblance that's similar to like that, similar to that robot. So basically, the more damage she takes, she can then use that energy to fight back, and she becomes more powerful because of it. And like her hair starts glowing, and her eyes turn red, I think, yeah. And so it's just really cool to see that sort of stuff. So she's real fucking powerful like that.
It's an old research and development.
Old research and development history. I should probably let you guys listen to it, but fuck that. No, so, yeah, so basically her, semblance, she becomes fucking uber powerful, and that was kind of like, she was kind of OP in the first couple seasons, and then the third season, they kind of took her down a peg. I'll just say that. But anyway, yeah, so pretty much, there was, yeah, so she's sort of up in your face, a big brawler. Now, she's Ruby's half-sister, as I mentioned before. Oh, hey, there we go, the end of the first thing. But yeah, she's Ruby's half-sister, and yeah, that's going to be the end for the first episode of this. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, a like and a subscribe would be really appreciated, because I have to get going and start the next episode. So yeah, I will see you next time. And you can see this Mountain Glen.